Sugar cravings are a beast. Am I right on this one? Yeah, they can take a hold of your life. And so today I really wanted to talk about what's behind those sugar cravings, and not only kind of the physiology and what's going on with sugar cravings, but how to satisfy naturally and beat this addictive cycle. So stay tuned until the end to learn about my top tips for breaking sugar cravings. If you're new to this station, welcome. I'm Taylor Wessel, nutritionist and owner of Tailored Health. And every week I come on here and share a little video or tip, tool, technique with you that will help you to be your healthiest self. I work with a lot of women, helping with weight loss, cravings, energy. So you're in the right spot if this is you. Anyways, let's get back to that topic at hand. Sugar cravings. So what is going on behind sugar cravings? Well, let's step back for a second because cravings often get a bad rap. Cravings, symptoms, conditions, but truthfully, cravings are a way that your body is speaking to you and telling you that something is not right. And when you have constant sugar cravings, there can be a couple things going on, or maybe a few things. One of them can be a mineral deficiency. So you're not getting enough minerals because you're not eating enough plants, enough vegetables especially, and fruits as well, whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes. So mineral deficiency can be number one. Another one is protein deficiency. You're not getting enough amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein in your diet. So those are the top two, and then the third is low energy. You're stressed out, maybe you're not sleeping great at night, maybe you're just going. You're pumping the caffeine and you're not refueling your body. You're exhausted and you're looking to sugar for that quick hit of energy. So now that you know a little bit of the backstory of why you might have sugar cravings, it's important to know that you are not alone in this. Americans are addicted to sugar. It is up to 8 times as addictive as cocaine. Yeah, you heard me right, cocaine. That's what the studies have shown. And Americans now are eating over 150 pounds of sugar an entire year. So that's about 22 teaspoons, if not more, every single day. And a teaspoon is quite a lot. So we are eating tons of sugar, and the more sugar that you eat, the more you crave. That's the bottom line. So we have to get a hold of this addiction because truthfully, the reason that sugar cravings are so terrible is not only can they run your life and you're popping from one sugar hit to the next and your energy and mood is all wonky throughout the day, but all sugar leads to all inflammation, which leads to illness, disease, symptoms. So we have got to get a hold of these sugar cravings if we want to feel well, if we want to prevent disease, not only diabetes, but heart conditions. A big source of inflammation is sugar that leads to that high cholesterol and so on and so forth. When it comes to any autoimmune conditions, anything that has to do with inflammation. So we must get a hold of the sugar cravings. How do you do so? Well, the first tip that I have for you is to have a protein and fat-rich breakfast within an hour of rising. And why you must do this is the number one tip. If you're gonna stop the video, stop now because this is the money maker here. The important part about knocking these sugar cravings is to balance your blood sugar. And when you wake up, you're naturally dehydrated and you haven't eaten or drinking anything within presumably, hopefully at least 8 hours, if not 12 hours, and if not longer, if you are intermittent fasting. So your body needs to refuel. And what helps you refuel is there's a crucial window of about 60 to 90 minutes first thing in the morning where your body needs to get that blood sugar balanced. So when you have something with healthy proteins and fats, it helps to set you off on the right foot as far as blood sugar goes and keeps you more around this level. If you have something that is high sugar for breakfast, that is a hit to your blood sugar, and your insulin levels, which is a fat storage hormone, they go up dramatically. And insulin is the fat storage hormone not only, but it's the shuttle system to get the sugar from your bloodstream into the muscles where it can be used for energy, for fuel. So you have a sugar-laden breakfast, maybe it's cereal, maybe it's a donut, maybe it's a bagel, and your blood sugar levels spike, your insulin levels spike, and then what happens from here is that you crash, and you crash 2 to 3 times as hard and as low as the hit of energy that you got from that high sugar, high carbohydrate breakfast. And so what happens when you crash? Your energy dips, your mood dips, and you're looking for that next hit to bring you back up. And guess what the quickest source of energy, of fuel is, of just something that your body can access to feel differently than you are, is carbohydrates and sugar. It's the quickest burning fuel. It burns within 30 minutes, really. Sugar's even quicker sometimes, 15 minutes. So your body knows when it dips real low, it's got to get in that energy right away. So you start this vicious cycle of craving right off the bat if you're having sugary cereal for breakfast. So knock it off. Instead, I recommend having a superfood smoothie that has a protein powder, maybe some avocado, nut, or seed butter in the morning. Maybe you have some eggs, a veggie omelet, a frittata with some pesto on top, avocado toast with an egg on top. So there's so many different options. Maybe you're running out of the door and you just grab a couple hard-boiled eggs. Great. The deal is just to have something to eat with protein and healthy fats within 60 to 90 minutes of waking. Tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to drink warm lemon water or water with apple cider vinegar first thing in the morning, or at least a couple times throughout the day. And this really slashes cravings. So cravings often can be a sign that your body is dehydrated. Hunger is mistaken for thirst oftentimes, and the kind of tart, acidic nature of lemon and apple cider vinegar can really slash those cravings. It improves digestion. It's great for so many other benefits, skin health, detoxification, the list goes on and on. So those are a couple tips that will help you. Listening to your hunger and not skipping meals throughout the day. So many people are not trusting their bodies and not listening to when they're hungry, and they go too long without eating. And remember, sugar and simple carbohydrates such as flour products, bread products, pasta, crackers, chips, these are the simplest units of energy that your body can quickly tap into. So you start to crave those when you've gone too long without eating. So do not meal skip. That's tip number 3. I have a couple more tips, and there's so many tools that you can use, but just want to share a couple more before we wrap up for the day. So when it comes to sugar cravings and you're in that moment and you're about to give in to the chocolate bar that's sitting on Sue Ann's desk across the hall, before giving into that, give into something with protein. Try to satisfy with protein first. Because what happens oftentimes is that you're deficient in protein, you're deficient in those amino acids, and your brain is looking for that balance. And so it looks for that quick hit of energy from simple carbohydrates, but really what it needs is the protein. So have something like a handful of roasted garbanzo beans or a handful of nuts and seeds. Perhaps you have some turkey slices, or what else could you have? Some organic cheese, a yogurt if you're able to tolerate dairy, a couple hard-boiled eggs if you didn't have them for breakfast. So try the protein first before giving in to the sweet fix. I guarantee that you won't be craving the sugar as much, and if you are and you've tried the protein first, you won't be having as much of the sweet fix if you go to protein first. And then my last tip is to have some healthier go-tos when those sugar cravings hit. Don't keep the trigger foods in the house or at your desk. Keep better options available. And so what I always am working with my clients on is, okay, so you are craving this, what is a healthier way to satisfy it? And let's try that first. So first you try the protein, and then if you're still craving the sugar, have things like at least 70% cacao content dark chocolate on hand. Maybe you have a little bit of dried fruit and you mix that with a nut or seed. You make your own kind of trail mix, if you will. I love to do sweet potatoes, so I'll have some baked sweet potatoes and I'll put some almond butter and maybe a little drizzle of honey on that. I feel good about that. Oftentimes I'll crave a little bit of something sweet after I eat, so I'll save sweet potato or maybe roasted butternut squash until the end of my meal to kind of just finish the meal on a sweet note. So other things that you can keep on hand are some dried figs or dates. Stuffing those with a nut butter or maybe a little bit of dark chocolate would be a healthier way to satisfy. Maybe you have a Greek yogurt and you top that with a little sprinkle of granola or some cacao nibs. Love cacao nibs. So these are all healthier go-to options that you can really try when you are craving sugar, having that backup or something to go to that will satisfy. So try out these tips. First of all, starting off that morning right with a protein-packed breakfast within an hour to an hour and a half of rising, drinking warm lemon water or apple cider vinegar and water, not going too long without eating between meals, going for protein first. So really important to balance out the amino acids and your neurotransmitters, your brain chemistry, and then having healthier go-tos as far as sweet alternatives just around so that when those cravings arise, you have something that will still satisfy you, but in a better way that you can feel good about. So I hope that helped you. I hope you understand a little bit more about what's going on with those sugar cravings and how to help yourself naturally. There's certainly so much more that we can talk about, and I will be developing more videos on this content. But if you like this video, give it a like, share it with somebody that could use the help, and I'll be coming out with all new videos every single week on Wednesdays, so stay tuned for more health topics. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.